Welcome back to Dirtbag Baseball Talk, everybody. Great to have you here as always. And on this episode, we're just doing our follow-up as we promised we would with Kyle Bennett and just getting some updates on the PitchTracker side of Diamond Kinetics and, just some questions and inquiries that come to them a lot have come to us from all of you in the past. And that's what this episode's about. So thanks for being with us. And Kyle, great for having you back on. Appreciate it. How's things out in California?
Good, Kirk. Thanks first and foremost for having me back. Obviously, I know we talked a while back, but it's great to be back connecting with you, connecting with your audience, and talking our stuff. But California is doing well. It's a little cloudy today, so not your typical Southern California weather. But all in all, it's not raining, so I guess I can't complain.
That's good. I'm glad to hear you got some cloud. We got all sunshine today. Life is great here on the East Coast, so we love it.
Yeah, you got it flipped around a little bit here, huh?
We're due, buddy. We're due. So, like I said, great to have you back. And Dirtbags, you know what? We're talking about the PitchTracker, softball, baseball. It doesn't matter. And Kyle's the man. He's the man in Diamond Kinetics, so we're happy to have him on. So let's get right down to business, Kyle. I know we've been talking and getting feedback from the questions behind the scenes and stuff like that. And a couple of the common ones that seem to be coming to us that you're going to elaborate on for us is why PitchTracker, baseball or softball versus training, the old traditional way, if you will, and stuff like that. And not as simple as that, but also, is there a potential for the combination of it to work? That's what a lot of the dirtbags out there are struggling, getting their heads wrapped around this. So can you expand on that for us, please?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Kirk, what you're alluding to here is the fact that some people out there think that this is going to ultimately replace a pitching coach or an instructor, right? Someone who you go and see for lessons. And that is not the case, right? I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions with our products, with our training tools, when it comes to, implementing them, right? This is not going to, our baseball, our swing tracker sensors, our pitch tracker softballs are not going to replace your pitching coach or your lessons coach, whoever you go to see for instruction, right? Like, this here is a tool that is going to provide you with information about what you're doing, right? So it's going to tell you your velocity. It's going to tell you your spin rate, your spin direction, your spin axis on the ball, how much of your spin rate is actually contributing to the break or the movement on the pitch, right? So what we are ultimately doing is just giving you more information about what you are doing as a pitcher, right? So when that comes to incorporating that with an instructor or a coach, again, we are simply meant to add more value to what you're getting from that coach or from your own personal training, right? We're trying to give you a sense of what you're doing, what maybe you might be doing right, and what maybe you need to work on or things you can fix to improve your overall performance, whether that's you doing that individually or doing that through a coach. So, one of the things that I really, really, really like about PitchTracker while being used with an instructor is the fact that it holds you accountable, right? Not only you as the player, but you as the coach or the lessons or the instructor, right? And what I mean by that is you go to see this person for a specific reason, right? Kirk, if you were to send your son to a pitching coach, what is the ultimate outcome you're looking for, right? You want your son to become a better pitcher, right? And you're going to pay that person money you're going to invest in that person, and that person's going to invest in your son or daughter to make them better, right? So how do you know if what they're teaching your child is actually working?
Nice.
Right? Like that's one of the biggest keys here. How do we know that when I go see somebody and I do a pitching lesson with them, that my son got better that day? Now, some of us can see some of that with our eyes, obviously, like, hey, all of a sudden my kid went from throwing 10% strikes to 60% strikes. Like, visually, I can comprehend that and know that there's an improvement there, right? But if my son consistently throws strikes, there's got to be something else that needs to be improved that I may or may not be able to see with my eyes, right? That could be velocity, that could be spin, that could be spin direction, that could be spin efficiency. right? There's different things that can be captured with our tool that cannot be seen with the eyes. And again, at the end of the day, if you're paying that coach for training and development, now you have a tool that's incorporated into that holds that coach and your son and the player accountable for their own development. Is the trainer making your child better? If you use the ball, you'll be able to track your progress and see over time, is my son or daughter improving, right? We can do that by trending their data over time. We can see if their velocity is picking up as they work with this coach. We can see if their spin rate is improving, or if their spin direction has changed on their breaking pitch, allowing it more, horizontal or vertical break, making it harder to hit for the hitter, right? So there's things that we can track and monitor with the ball that will allow you to hold your pitching coaches or lessons coaches accountable, while also holding yourself accountable for your own personal development. If you go and see a pitching coach once a week and think that that is the only thing you need to do to improve, you are sorely mistaken, right? Like, that will not get you to the promised land. That will not get you to your goals, right? So there's also work on the player's end. So I think at the end of the day, one of the really cool things is incorporating our technology with your lessons or with your coaches, because it adds value to what is being done, right? The instruction that's being given, the work that's being put in, all of it's being tracked and monitored, and allowing you to really hone in and see where there's some deficiencies, or, hey, I am making improvements. What we are doing is working. Let's continue to do it.
Fantastic. Yeah, 100% makes sense when you say it that way. No question. It's a great combination tool for sure. So, and another one that we get a lot of, Kyle, was a lot of excitement about the biomechanics that you were working on from the pitching side of things last fall. Can you enlighten us where you at with that? How are you finding that's working? Little bits of tidbits, information where they can go and maybe research a little bit more about it as well.
Yeah, definitely. So again, I think last time we touched on this, but we have an exclusive partnership with a company called Reboot Motion. They're here in Southern California, and they're run by a great guy named Jimmy Buffy, and he used to be in the Dodgers R&D system. Worked at Driveline, did some stuff with them. So very, very knowledgeable in the space. Understands biomechanics, body movements. Really, really knowledgeable on that end, and we're super excited to have him, teamed up with him, Diamond Kinetics and Reboot Motion working together on this. And it's been a work in progress, to say the least. Last time we talked, it was something that we were working through, something we already had a test build for, and here we are, a few months later, and it's the same thing. So, something, along the tech lines here, right? When things come up, you find issues, you got to attack them, you got to handle them right there. So it can push out the progress, right? In the process and the timeline. But what's really neat is we are closer than we've ever been to getting this ready for release on the baseball pitching side. So we have some stuff that we've got from Reboot Motion with Jimmy, on what is effective and what's going to help a player sequence and move their body more efficiently, right? And what's really, really neat about it, and I think I talked about this last time, is you don't even need the ball to actually utilize this once it is available in our apps, right? So all you'll have to do is actually download the PitchTracker app, whether or not you have this baseball, and you'll be able to go into the app and actually give it a try, right? And go in and use the camera setting on your phone, and the app will do the motion analysis for you. So it's really neat. Now, obviously, if you have the baseball, right? If you have the ball, you have the softball, it's all integrated. If you utilize the ball during that session, you'll get more detailed information. You'll get your velocity, your spin rate, your spin direction, things like that. But you do not necessarily need our hardware, the ball, the sensors, in order to do a motion analysis report. So it's really neat. You will not need a hardware device. You'll need your phone, and you guys can go out and do it anywhere. Obviously, that's really cool, right? Because most people think that you need the hardware to take advantage of that. You do not.
Yeah. Yeah. But I can see what you're saying, though. I mean, the value added again with the baseball for sure. It makes sense, right? You do your dry throws, bullpen work if you wanted to or whatever, and that with or without the ball. You know what? Depends on what you're working on that day, right? You know it as a pitching coach as well, right? What your focus is, your goal, your intent for that bullpen, or throwing, if it's as simple as that's right, catching wherever. Like we talked about the last time, this isn't just for pitchers, okay, out there. Just so understand that, dirtbags. This is for players to improve. Sure, I mean the spin metrics are not obviously relate to the pitching side of things, but at the end of the day, it's just as valuable for that outfielder or that left side of the infield to making sure that your axis and staying straight for throws across the infield, throws from the outfield to the infield. It's all valuable. So that's exciting, man. That's really cool and stuff like that. One thing on the top of my mind, back to your relationship, are you looking at doing a strength and conditioning component to that? Like, is that a relatable expansion with the biomechanics side of things?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it actually
tips?
is. Yeah, yeah, 100%. So it's now to be upfront and honest with you and everybody that's out there watching and listening. It's not necessarily something that we have looked at doing immediately. But the nice part is the functionality, the capabilities are already built into what we've already got at this point, right? Which is taking a two-dimensional video of somebody, right? A two-dimensional video, and then actually being able to recreate a three-dimensional figure on top of that two-dimensional video, right? So that is the one of the hardest components to this, is being able to make that translation. And so what's really nice is we've already done that. We've already built out the hard part. We can take a video and turn it into a 3D model of a player's body. So that is already done. Now it's about, okay, how do we design it to effectively allow the most baseball and softball players to take advantage of this, right? How are we going to help? And so, it's funny. One of the other questions I got, excuse me, around ME was, can we do running? Can we work on form running? Right? And to me, that makes total sense, right? If we're measuring what the body's doing,
yep,
and we want to improve performance, if you don't run properly, you don't run fast enough, right? You run slow. So if you can improve your running efficiency, what should happen to your running speed? It should improve, correct? So looking at these things, weightlifting, range of motion, agility moves, we can start doing these things with position players, with catchers, with outfielders, right? Obviously, the way it's being built today, and the first iteration that you will see of this, is going to be specifically for pitchers, right? That's what this is for. That's why it's called PitchTracker, right?
Yeah.
We're going after the pitcher, trying to help them move more efficiently and not leak energy when they're throwing on the bump, right? So we are trying to help players improve that. Now, that's not to say that that's where we stop, right? We could expand this to running, to weightlifting, to, like I said, agility work, anything. Because we've done the hard part, is taking a 2D video and converting it into a three-dimensional figure. We can do that, which means we have the ability to do all of these other things that we're talking about, right? So that is probably one of the coolest things. We're not there yet, but that is something that we will look at and potentially do down the road, and give people that ability to measure the body that way.
Yeah, exciting journey you're going on for sure, and we're just honored and happy to be a part of it for sure. And again, dirtbags, that's why, I mean, Kyle and the rest of the team at Diamond Kinetics, one example, they're the experts. That's why we have them on. There's no question. I mean, you can send your questions and inquiries to me or whatever, but you'll always notice that I pass you right on to whether it's Kyle or JD on the East Coast, wherever you're located and stuff like that, to get you right to the right people that know the ins and outs, and they're the experts. This is what they do every day. So can't thank you enough, buddy, for coming on, sharing those little tidbits, and I know we're going to keep doing it as we keep evolving, and very fortunate that as we get questions, you guys are so responsible and so professional as a team as well. And so there you go, Dirtbags. If you want to get that pitch tracker, you want to get that swing tracker sensors, you can go right to our website, dirtbagbaseballnation.com. You can buy it right online there. And we want to make it seamless. We want to get these in your hands because, like you said, it's not just a product, it's value added, as Kyle said and talked about. And I hope it makes sense to you how and why it's value added as well, and why we're right in there with them, and very fortunate. So Kyle, again, thank you as always for coming on. Thank you for getting us updated on these new exciting parts of the component with Diamond Kinetics and the pitch tracker. And you know what? Stay safe, my friend. And thanks again for coming on.
Awesome, Kirk. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And anybody out there that's listening, if you guys have any questions, find me on social. I'm pretty easy to find on Instagram at Kyle Bennett DK.
Yeah, and he's quick too. He's quick. He'll get back. Yeah, I can guarantee it. So, again, Dirtbags, we do it for you. Can't do it without you. Thank you for being a part of this. And you know what? We're just going to keep rolling with it. So until next episode, you know what time of the week it is. It's time to get up, get after it, and get dirty.